Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we will see how to apply a basic sentiment analysis using Amazon Alexa data. So everyone aware of Alexa, right? So here I'm taking a review for the each variation of the Alexa and what the users were commented on the variation. And this is a date for the what is the rating given by user, date, variation, verified reviews by providing some comments and feedback. So basically here we are going to be utilize variation and variation columns to apply our basic analysis. So what are we going to do exactly? If you can have a look at the variation, we have multiple variations here in Alexa, like black, black dot, black plus. We have multiple variations. And user has given feedback based on the bot variation. Right. Now, so we are going to be calculate what is the most what is the most or repeated word for the charcoal fabric. Likewise, what is the most repeated word for walnut finish? So we have a number of variations, right? So for every variation, what is the most repeated word? So we are going to be get the most repeated word, right? So to start your practical, start with your Anaconda Navigator, then launch your Jupyter Lab. Here I'm importing my Alexa data. Right. So I do have rating, date, variation, verified reviews, and feedback. So here I'm going to be converting my verified reviews column to a list. Okay. So here I'm trying to convert and creating a new column, description underscore conversion, applying on the verified reviews, converting all my data into lowercase for best feasibility, and removing any spaces right or left side. Also, every review have a space, right? So I'm going to be I'm going to be pass a comma for the readability purpose. To pass that, I'm going to use string split. It will go ahead and pass a comma for each word. If you can execute this one, see here, there is a description conversion column which is created with the new data. And if you have a look at here, data is created in a list format where it will get every word in lowercase, then separated by comma. Right. Now I need to pass this data one by one to get the count of word which is most repeated word. To do that, I'm going to be use a for loop here. Right. So first I'm going to be taking a dummy value here, conversion list reviews, a dummy list. I'm passing all those values in a list. So getting my data from Alexa data frame and getting the columns variation and description conversion and iterating the rows one by one. So that iterate rows will pass first loud, then pass my, and then pass echo. So how it works exactly? Let's have a look at variation charcoal fabric. It has a description conversion, love my echo, right? So when the first word is coming, it will write charcoal fabric love. When the next word coming my, it will write my, but it has to know what is exactly respect to variation. So it is going to repeat your variation with the word. Then charcoal fabric, echo. So for the next one, if you have a look at here, charcoal fabric, again it will get this one and it can write its data like loud it. First it will get iteration though loud, then again for the next iteration it will get it. So like this, for the walnut finish also it will get the first word, sometimes walnut finish, while walnut finish playing. It will get the words like this in the iterable manner. So once the data is available in the particular for loop, then we are going to be placing the data into row underscore data. Right. So once the data is available in row underscore data, we are going to be loop it again to get your exact values. So what we are trying to do here, we are going to be convert row data description conversion column. When you have description conversion column, passing these values into final word. Right. Then I'm going to be appending my data to the list by passing row data dot variation, which is going to be iterable here, then final word, which I'm trying to getting from the description conversion. Okay. So if you can execute here and get the conversion list reviews, it will show in a list format. If you can have a look at here, charcoal fabric, first word, love. Next, charcoal fabric, next word, my. So see here, the way it is going to be, get a new word and pass the respective variation. Right. So we do have data in the list. Now I'm going to be convert my data into tabular form. So how can we do that? So we have seen previous session, likewise, we are going to be convert the list by using a data frame, Pandas data frame, convert list reviews, which is a list, and columns. I'm trying to pass two columns as product type and repeated word. Then if there are any null values in the repeated word, it has any null values unfortunately. So I'm going to be removing those values which I do not require. So for that, I'm taking length of each repeated word. The length should be greater than 0. Then only I'll consider that is a perfect data. So let's try to execute. And if you can have a look at here, so you can see product type and repeated word. So charcoal fabric, product type, and the repeated word one by one. So these are the first 5 records. Now, so once you have the data, and now we are going to be grouping all our data by using charcoal fabric. So to group your data, we need to pass the data set, group by function, then on which column we are trying to do, group by product type. Then once you are done with the group type, how many records are available for a particular repeated word? What are the value count? To get your value count of the repeated word, we need to pass the repeated word dot value underscore counts function. And to underscore will convert into tabular format. And finally, we are going to be renaming repeated word into column to count of word. Let's try to execute. See here. For the black variation, the repeated word is most repeated word I 208 times. Right. So we just get basic one. So we'd like to display all our variations data, right? All our variations data. To do that, I'm trying to take one function here in Python. So it is going to be display top records. A function calling display top records. The records I'm trying to pass input as records, which is a data set. Then index level is 0. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to convert the data set applying group by, which is the level. Index is level is, the first level is 0. The default level is 0, the first level. So if you pass 0, then it will go ahead and group by with the product type. This is 0, this is 1. Then I'm applying my lambda function in Python to get the n largest values. Means to get the maximum number of values. How many? 3 values. For that I have given 3. Then once you are done with the group by here, it will create an index. And end of that, we are going to be dropping our index. So level equal to 0, dropping, resetting the index, and drop equal to true. So once it is there, we are going to be returning the value. Right. So if you can execute this one, see here. My product type black, most repeated word I, number of times is 208. The same way, black dot I, repeated word 463. And for black plus, this is the most repeated word 446. So if you can have a look at all the data, we do have all the variations. But if you can see here, I, the, it, these are the stoppable words. I do not want to see these words because these are the known words. If you want to train your system to stop these words, we need to tell the system if you are getting these I, the, it, this, that words, we are going to be skip them. So for that, we need to train our system. So how to train our system? We are trying to pass the stop words. So we need to pass our stop words first. Then where should we use these stop words? While getting the data, I do not want to receive my stop words, right? So here I'm going to be pass all the stop words into my final word. The final word should not be in all these values. If you think these are the stop words, these stop words will pass over here and it will not get these values. If you can execute this one and try to execute next steps, you will see the perfect data. See here. So I do not see my values I, the, this one right now. So for the product type black, most repeated word is works. How many times? 63. And love repeated 61 times. So for black dot, most repeated word love, which is 156 times. If you don't want to get with also here, you can pass with here in the stop words. That will go ahead and stop your data. And if you can execute it again, going back here, and try to execute the last one. See here, I do not see with. For the black spot, the most what is love. For charcoal fabric, love 99 times, right? So like this, we'll get the data, which is the most repeated word for a particular product, right? If you want to increase the n largest, you can increase the count over here and you can pass your data. Okay, now you can see top 5 repeated word for the product type black. Is nothing but the variation, right? So in this way, you can execute or you can display the words by using Python pandas. Okay, thank you guys.